going on, man?
Hey, Rick, what's up, buddy? How you doing?
I'm hanging in there.
Cool, man. Hey, did you happen to see Dave Rust's live video that he did?
Oh, I did. The camera was pointing at the ground. I had to call him and tell him. Hey, he's never going to make top 20.
What are you up to, man?
I just delivered my paramotor. Maddie came and picked it up, and he's taking it up to Adam Huff, so I'm without wheels, man.
Nice.
But that's all right. It's winter time. It's going to be windy anyway, so screw it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, I got a message from Craig Taylor. Let me talk to you a little while later.
Yeah, bro.
All right, buddy. See ya. So my buddy Craig Taylor, knowing that I didn't have a paramotor to fly, that I had sold mine or raffled it off, I had ordered my new one and was waiting for it, offered me to come out and fly his brand new Fly Products Flash Cruiser trike. Man, what a guy. That is just awesome. So the Flash Cruiser is a nice setup. It folds up. It has a foot launch type unit that mounts right on the back of it. This one has a Vidorozzi Moster 185. Really sweet setup. It takes about 10 minutes to put it together. So we started early and Craig got it all put together and I strapped in, and he was talking about kicking a field goal or something here, or I don't know. I couldn't really hear what he was saying. Talking about drying off your hair when you get out of the shower. I'm not sure. I'm a 7-time WTPGA champion, so I just went ahead and sent it.
They're good.
All right, we made it. I think that was the 5th try, but it really is back in the air.
All right, guys. You know Gorilla's going to keep it real. Here's what really happened. So this was my first launch. I don't know if you've ever heard of a big ears launch, but this is a perfect example of a big ears launch. And if you didn't know, it doesn't work. After watching the video, it became clearly evident what was going on. Actually, I had a few different things going on. Part of it was technique, part of it was equipment setup, so we'll walk through these. I had several of these launches where it pulled hard to the right.
Man, this feels weird.
Take one look here.
All right, here we go.
If you look at the trailing edge on the right side of my wing, you can see that very clearly there's a lot of brake applied. So the wing naturally pulls hard to the right.
What the hell was pulling?
It was good. When you backed off, you lost it.
My finger came off the throttle. Can you straighten the wing for me in place?
The wind started to get a little shifty. It was changing directions. Everybody else was launching and flying. My buddy Craig was there on the ground for probably nearly an hour trying to get me into the air when he could have been flying. He was toting the wing back and forth for me, helping me set up, giving me tips. We had a few visitors fly over from Lake Wales, Aviator. That's Fletch and Allie. They made a nice little cross-country over, and Ross Gasaway ran ground support for him.
Yeah, heck yeah.
So it always helps when there's several other people to watch and relish in your failures, but it's okay. I can take it. And about the time we got down there and got set up, then the wind shifted back, so we'd pick up all the gear and take it back down there for another setup. I just want to say thanks a bunch to Craig Taylor and Paul Abuchon. Those guys were not giving up. They were going to get me in the air come hell or high water.
Okay with that, Craig?
After like 6 failures, I was wore out. I said, listen, this is the last time. If I don't get it this time, it just wasn't meant to be, and that's okay.
Arm tight. Just wait for it. Back it. Control it. Let's see what happens. Here we go.
They're good.
Okay guys, so here's the debrief. Here's what I learned. My unit, the hang points are low, are down near my chest or below my chest. On this unit, the hang points are high, up above my shoulders. My wing is set up perfect for my unit, but for these, my brake lines are far too short. So that muscle memory that kicked in every time I inflated the wing, I would pull the brakes down to where I normally check them and hold them at, and it was just too much. It was stalling the wing before it could ever get into a flying configuration. At one point, one of my tip lines was wrapped around inside of my risers and pulling hard brake, causing the wing to lean way over to the right, which was unrecoverable. One time my finger slipped off the throttle. I had a good wing and was good to go, and my finger just slipped off. It's just new equipment. It's just different. There's absolutely nothing wrong with the Fly Products trike. It's a good piece of equipment. It's a good machine, and I could adapt to it. It just needs to be set up right for me. The harness needs to be lowered a little bit because my shoulders were against the bars over top. And I'm not a big fan of the bars over top to start with. That's kind of why I like my machine. But all in all, it was a really good experience. It was a great learning experience. I really enjoyed it, hanging out with my friends and flying. So all in all, we call it a success. I can't give enough thanks to Craig Taylor and Paul Abuchon and Gorilla Ground for being there to support me and make this happen. It was a fun day, and I learned a ton from it. Well, I had a short flight because I just couldn't do sustained flight with my arms up that high. They just get tired. And I couldn't get them up high enough because the bars were touching my shoulders. But anyway. Alright guys, so my equipment's going to be coming soon, so stay tuned. Till then, Gorilla's out.